Good evening. This is Akashvani. I am Valsa Williams with the news at 9. The headlines. Prime Minister Narendra Modi announces plan to open nuclear sector for private players, unveils country's first privately developed orbital rocket Vikram-I. Supreme Court asks Centre to consider bringing stringent law to deal with derogatory remarks against persons with disabilities. Assam Assembly passes bill to ban polygamy, making it a punishable offence. India and Indonesia reiterate commitment to maritime security, including coordination in Indian Ocean. And in badminton, teenager Tanvi Sharma beats former World Champion Nozomi Okuhara to reach women's singles quarterfinals of Syed Modi International tournament in Lucknow. Prime Minister Narendra Modi today said the government is moving towards opening up the nuclear sector for private players, highlighting that just as space sector was opened for private entities by the government, the scope of other reforms is continuously increasing. Mr. Modi was speaking after inaugurating Indian space startup Skyroot's Infinity Campus in Hyderabad through video conferencing from New Delhi.
जैसे हमने स्पेस इनोवेशन को प्राइवेट सेक्टर के लिए ओपन किया, वैसे ही हम न्यूक्लियर सेक्टर को भी ओपन करने की तरफ आगे बढ़ रहे हैं। इस सेक्टर में भी हम प्राइवेट सेक्टर की सशक्त भूमिका की नींव रखने जा रहे हैं। इससे स्मॉल मॉड्यूलर रिएक्टर, एडवांस रिएक्टर्स और न्यूक्लियर इनोवेशन में अवसर बनेंगे। यह रिफॉर्म हमारी एनर्जी सिक्योरिटी और टेक्नोलॉजिकल लीडरशिप को नई शक्ति देगा।
On the occasion, the Prime Minister also unveiled Skyroot's first orbital rocket, Vikram-I, with capability to launch satellites. He said India's space sector is becoming an attractive destination for global investors.
ग्लोबल इन्वेस्टर्स के लिए भारत का स्पेस सेक्टर एक अट्रैक्टिव डेस्टिनेशन बन रहा है। आज दुनिया में छोटे सैटेलाइट्स की डिमांड लगातार बढ़ रही है। लॉन्च फ्रीक्वेंसीज भी बढ़ रही है। नई नई कंपनियां सैटेलाइट सर्विसेज देने लगी हैं और स्पेस अब एक स्ट्रेटेजिक एसेट के रूप में जगह बना चुका है। इसलिए आने वाले वर्षों में ग्लोबल स्पेस इकोनॉमी कई गुना बढ़ने वाली है। ये भारत के युवाओं के लिए बहुत बड़ा अवसर है।
President Draupadi Murmu addressed the Odisha Legislative Assembly on the first day of its winter session at Bhubaneswar this evening. She urged the members to work with dedication to bring smiles on the faces of common people and build a prosperous Odisha by 2036, when the state completes 100 years of its formation. She credited the Legislative Assembly for shaping her journey to the highest constitutional office of the country. This is the first time a President of India addressed the Odisha Assembly. President Murmu arrived at Bhubaneswar this afternoon on a 2-day visit to her home state. Defence Minister Rajnath Singh and his Indonesian counterpart Jafri Shamsuddin today co-chaired the third India-Indonesia Defence Ministers Dialogue in New Delhi. During the meeting, both countries reiterated their commitment to maritime security, including coordination in the Indian Ocean. They also stressed on the importance of maintaining a free, open, peaceful, stable and prosperous Indo-Pacific region guided by international law and respect for sovereignty. The two countries reaffirmed long-standing strategic partnership and deepening bilateral defence cooperation. Union Railway Minister Ashwini Vaishnav and Minister of State for Electronics and IT Jitin Prasad flagged off the Gorakhpur-Izzat Nagar Express through video conference from New Delhi today. The Gorakhpur-Pilibhit Express train has been extended up to Izzat Nagar station in Bareilly district of Uttar Pradesh for the convenience of rail passengers. Speaking on the occasion, Mr. Vaishnav said the train service inaugurated today will significantly improve connectivity from Bareilly to Pilibhit and further up to Gorakhpur. Union Railway Minister Ashwini Vaishnav has clarified that there are no guidelines mandating that meals served in trains must be halal certified. There have been recent media reports stating that Railways has been served a notice by the National Human Rights Commission on a complaint that only halal processed meat is being used in non-vegetarian meals served on trains by Railways. Talking to media, Mr. Vaishnav said Railways never demand any halal certificates.
There is no requirement for a halal certificate in any railway regulations. The Railways never demands a halal certificate from anyone. This is based on an old video. The tea packet shown in the video is completely vegetarian. An investigation will be conducted to determine how the halal certificate was written on the packet.
In a statement, Indian Railways said IRCTC serves non-vegetarian food, chicken, conforming to standards laid down in Food Safety and Standards Act 2006. The Supreme Court has asked the Centre to consider bringing a stringent law to deal with derogatory remarks against persons with disabilities. The top court asked the Centre to consider framing a statute to make derogatory remarks ridiculing persons with disabilities and rare genetic disorders a penal offence on the lines of the SC/ST Act. A bench comprising Chief Justice Suryakant and Justice Joymalia Bagchi today said there is need for a neutral, independent and autonomous body to regulate obscene, offensive or illegal content on online platforms. The top court was hearing a petition which flagged jokes made by India's Got Talent show's host Samay Raina and other social media influencers. This is Akashwani giving you the news. For quick news updates round the clock, follow us on our X handle at AIR News Alerts. And for details of stories and more, log on to our website www.newsonair.gov.in and download News on AIR app. Welcome back. You're with us on the news at 9. The Assam Legislative Assembly today passed the Assam Prohibition of Polygamy Bill 2025, aimed at reinforcing marital accountability and protecting women's rights. The legislation establishes one of the strictest legal frameworks against polygamy in the country. The bill, introduced on the first day of the winter session, seeks to criminalize entering into a second marriage without legally dissolving the first. It includes provisions of up to 10 years imprisonment for individuals who conceal a previous marriage and up to 7 years imprisonment for entering into a second marriage without dissolving the first. Repeat offenders will face double the punishment under the law. The GST Bachat Utsav began on the 22nd of September as the Narendra Modi government reduced GST rates across several sectors, benefiting citizens nationwide. Our correspondent brings a report on how the next generation GST reforms are boosting the economy of Himachal Pradesh.
The next generation GST reforms have brought significant relief to the artisans, farmers and industrial sectors of Himachal Pradesh. Under the revised tax rates, GST on traditional leather slippers, wooden crafts, pottery items and metal ware have been brought under 5% tax slab. Similarly, taxes on hand-woven shawls, traditional Himachali caps and other handicraft items have also been reduced to 5% from the earlier 12% tax slab. This move has made these traditional items more affordable and improved the income of local weavers and craftsmen. With Rohan, Aman for Akashwani News, Delhi.
The penultimate day of the 56th International Film Festival of India, IFFI, drew a large gathering of cinema enthusiasts to Panaji, Goa. Day 8 of the festival captivated audiences with eagerly awaited film screenings, insightful masterclasses and exclusive conversations with celebrated filmmakers. We have a report.
Actor and filmmaker Amir Khan held a masterclass on social transformation and inclusivity through narrative architecture. Talking about his life and filmography, Mr. Khan said that he's been surrounded by storytelling from childhood, including Akashwani program Hawa Mahal.
I've always been someone who's loved stories. Growing up as a child also, I used to love stories. I used to listen to my grandmother's stories, and cook in the house would tell us stories, and Hawa Mahal would come on radio, so I used to love listening to Hawa Mahal. I don't know how many of you all even know what it is. The youngsters, I don't think will know what is Hawa Mahal.
Addressing the media, director of Malayali blockbuster ARM, Jitin Lal talked about his inspirational story of evolving from just an IFFI attendee to having his film screened here. If we will close tomorrow with the Thai film A Useful Ghost, followed by a grand closing ceremony at the Shyama Prasad Mukherjee Indoor Stadium. With Nikhil and Saira, Adarsh for Akashvani News, Panji.
In Madhya Pradesh, Union Minister of State for Information and Broadcasting Dr. L. Murugan and Chief Minister Dr. Mohan Yadav jointly inaugurated the new broadcast service and Malvi dialect bulletin. DG Akashvani Rajiv Kumar Jain was also present on the occasion. In the holy city of Ujjain, radio broadcasts from the newly established Akashvani Centre began yesterday. For the first time, listeners will be able to hear news in the Malvi dialect, a significant step towards preserving the region's language and culture. The 44th India-International Trade Fair concluded at Bharat Mandapam in New Delhi today. The theme of the fair this year was Ek Bharat, Shresth Bharat. On the last day of the fair, an award presentation function was held for various categories. In the category of partner states, Rajasthan bagged the gold, while Jharkhand grabbed gold in the focus state category. Talking to Akashvani News, Managing Director of India Trade Promotion Organisation, Dr. Neeraj, said that this year more than 18 lakh people visited the fair. South Africa has termed U.S. President Donald Trump's statement of not inviting the African nation to attend next year's G20 summit at Miami in Florida as regrettable. A statement issued by President Cyril Ramaphosa's office said South Africa is a member of the G20 in its own name and right, and its G20 membership is at the behest of all other members. The statement said the G20 Leaders Summit held recently in Johannesburg was hailed by all members as one of the most successful summits. It added that the United States had elected not to attend the G20 Leaders Summit in Johannesburg out of its own volition. In Hong Kong, the death toll from a fire that tore through an apartment complex has risen to 75. A government spokesperson said firefighters are battling the blaze at the high-rise residential complex for the second day today. Rescue operations are still underway in some of the towers. Back home, the deep depression forming over southwest Bay of Bengal and adjoining Sri Lanka coast has intensified into the cyclonic storm Ditwa. According to the Regional Met Department, Southern Region, the storm is likely to reach over southwest Bay of Bengal off North Tamil Nadu and adjoining coastal areas of South Andhra Pradesh. It is likely to bring heavy rains to the Delta districts over the next 24 hours. Benchmark domestic equity indices, the Sensex and the Nifty, closed in the positive territory today. The markets reached new all-time highs during intraday trading, marking a milestone after 14 months. The Sensex hit a record high of 86,056, while the Nifty touched 26,310. The Sensex advanced 111 points to close at 85,720, while the Nifty added 10 points to settle at 26,216. In badminton, India's teenage sensation Tanvi Sharma defeated former World Champion Nozomi Okuhara to reach the women's singles quarterfinals of the Syed Modi International tournament in Lucknow today. 16-year-old Tanvi outdid the Japanese veteran in a round of 16 match. Other Indian shuttlers who advanced to the quarterfinals of the tournament include the doubles duo of Trisa Jolly and Gayatri Gopichand, as well as singles players Unnati Huda, Kidambi Shrikant, Priyanshu Rajawat. Prime Minister Narendra Modi and Home Minister Amit Shah today congratulated the Indian contingent for their performance at the 25th Summer Deaf Olympics held in Tokyo, Japan this month. India finished at 6th place on the overall tally with a record-breaking haul of 20 medals, including 9 gold. Prime Minister Narendra Modi also met the women's blind cricket team, which recently won the T20 World Cup. And now, before we end the bulletin, the headlines once again. Prime Minister Narendra Modi announces plan to open nuclear sector for private players, unveils country's first privately developed orbital rocket Vikram-I. Supreme Court asks Centre to consider bringing stringent law to deal with derogatory remarks against persons with disabilities. Assam Assembly passes bill to ban polygamy, making it a punishable offence. India and Indonesia reiterate commitment to maritime security, including coordination in Indian Ocean. And in badminton, teenager Tanvi Sharma beats former World Champion Nozomi Okuhara to reach women's singles quarterfinals of Syed Modi International tournament in Lucknow. That is all in the news at 9. Good night.